miles here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. ESPN, the worldwide leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. Today live from the beautifully manicured Michigan Speedway, it's the NASCAR Busch National Series Detroit Gasket 200. After 21 events, it's getting lonely at the top. LaJoie, a 150-point lead over Todd Bodine, although Elliott Sadler has moved from 11th to 5th in the last 5 weeks. For many, this Michigan track is magic, but for others this week, it has been pure misery. Story to tell you. Actually, it's the Sadler story. A few years ago, Hermie Sadler was a rising star in this series. In 1993, 1 win and Rookie of the Year honors. In 1994, 1 win and 5th in points. But then his star flamed out, and this 28-year-old owner-driver has struggled. His best finish this year is 3rd, and he hasn't won in 89 races. Well, Thursday here, he won the pole. And then on Friday, he announced he's dissolving his team and taking his DeWalt Tool sponsorship to Diamond Ridge Motorsports. There, he'll be teamed with a new rising star in this series, his 22-year-old brother, Elliott. Just 36 Busch starts. And in this, his first full year, he has 3 wins. In his last 3 races, 2 wins and a 2nd. But Elliott crashed here in qualifying on Thursday. Today, he starts a backup car, 39th. They will always be brothers. Next year, they'll be teammates. On race day, they are fierce competitors.
Well, the points battle has been close all year long, but for points leader Randy LaJoie, it's been a few days of good news and bad news. The bad news is he's qualified in 25th position, all the way back here in the back. The good news is they only had 1 round of qualifying because qualifying was rained out. The next good news is he's qualified ahead of his main competition, Todd Bodine, so he's looking good there. But the best news of all, it's Michigan. It makes no difference. They run 4 wide down the straightaway here. They run 3 wide down the straightaway, 2 wide in the corner. Don't look for Randy LaJoie to spend too much time back at the back of the pack. Look for him up front, guys.
Mark Martin has 31 wins in the NASCAR Busch Series, tied with Jack Ingram. No one has ever won more. Today, Martin goes for his 6th win of the season and a record-setting 32nd. He has a new car and was happily surprised when he qualified 9th. He's won this race twice, in 93 and 95. Now in 97, mark my words, Martin wants the win and the record.
Of Motorsports, Mr. Freddie Myers, plant manager, Detroit Gasket.
Drivers, start your engine.
And with that command, the field of 42 cars roars the light. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Bunch, along with former Winston Cup champions Ned Jarrett and Benny Parsons. You know, when you come to Michigan, you're going to be fast, but you can't be fueling because fuel mileage is critical. In this race a year ago, the guy who won it, Jeff Purvis, and the guy who finished 2nd, ran 67 laps on fuel. What about a break from the caution flag? Don't bet on that. There's only been 1 caution flag in this race the last 2 years, Ned.
The racetrack is wide. A lot of racing room out here. That's why we don't see a lot of caution flags on this racetrack. Now, they can make this race on 1 pit stop. What they would hope to do after 50 laps, 100 miles, is they come in, get tires and fuel, and finish the race. But last year, they had a caution flag at 33 laps, as you mentioned, and so a couple were able to stretch it out. But that fuel mileage can help you in another area, too, and that is on the first run, on your first tank of fuel. If you can go that far, you might stand a chance of catching the caution flag while others have hit it under the green. But then there's some guys in this field here today that fuel mileage is not going to make any difference.
No, don't worry about fuel mileage. Worry about running 200 miles, getting some laps on the racetrack. Steve Park, Dale Shaw, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Crow brothers, Mark and Jeff, Matt Kenseth, they've never been here before. They need to worry about running 200 miles because that is the key. Get some time on the racetrack. Steve Park will be back here next year in the NASCAR Winston Cup car. What he learns today will help him next year. All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at our Suzuki starting grid, including pole sitter, 28-year-old Hermie Sadler, and we'll wave the green flag on the 6th annual Detroit Gasket 200. Coverage of the NASCAR Busch National Series Detroit Gasket 200 from Michigan Speedway is being brought to you by
Daytona, USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. By Suzuki. Your Suzuki motorcycle and ATV dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. Our Suzuki starting lineup, 42 cars, will take the green flag. Hermie Sadler's third career pole, a brand new track record, puts him on the front row alongside veteran Dick Trickle in second spot. Back in row 2, Bobby Labonte, who won this race 3 years ago, beside the rookie, Steve Park. Row 3, Terry Labonte, also a very, very good finisher in the top 5 3 years in a row, beside Elton Sawyer. Back in row 4, Kevin LePage, who finished second a year ago, and a driver that's really coming on in the sophomore season, Mike Dillon. And back in row 5, there's the guy who's won this race twice in 6 years, Mark Martin and Buckshot Jones. And guys, as you look at the rest of our starting lineup, there are some very, very good cars starting toward the back of the field.
You got that right. We heard about Randy LaJoie starting back there. Also, Todd Bodine. And there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in row 9. Very first race here. And Dale Jarrett. He's back there pretty good ways, Ned.
Starting in 20th position, and you'll see there's the Probe brothers side by side in the 11th row. Ricky Craven back there. So, yeah, there's some good drivers back in the field, which should make some good racing because Grafton plays a part here at the Michigan Speedway. They run fast enough on these straightaways and long turns that the Grafton comes into play. So we'll see some good side-by-side racing, maybe 3 and 4 wide at a time.
Michael Walter, we still aren't through there. Mike McLaughlin, teammate to the Todd Bodine car. David Bonnet is back. Morgan Shepherd. Elliott Sadler with a provisional after he crashed trying to qualify. And they're coming down off turn 4 for the green flag.
All right, 200 miles, 100 laps. The purse here, $418,860.
And Darrell Strange, a friend of mine from Detroit Gasket, is going to wave the green flag and start these boys. Wave it, Darrell.
On the outside, down that back straightaway.
There's what we're talking about drafting. Bobby Labonte right up on the back. And look at Elton Sawyer. Boy, did he get a draft and pull shot right by him up there into third place.
There's lots of room at this racetrack. Good to go on turn 4 to meet that first lap.
55-year-old Dick Trickle leads the first time by. As we check in the Elton Sawyer pits with Bill Weber.
Well, keep your eye on Elton Sawyer. He qualified well here, and his car ran well in practice. But this morning, less than 20 minutes before the green flag, his car was not on the grid. Elton wanted the nose weight changed. He said the car was fast, but there's no way he could drive it in that shape for 100 laps. So they changed the nose weight, got the car on the grid about 18 minutes before the green flag. They're very confident today, looking for some luck.
And Ed Berry, the 77 car, off the pace as he goes down the backstretch.
That's a clear group forward. Jimmy Means, the crew chief on that car. Ed Berry, his first start in the car, is Bobby Labonte makes a look inside of Trickle. And as you mentioned, Benny, this track's so wide, plenty of room to pass almost anywhere.
And Elton Sawyer will charge up to second spot following Bobby Labonte.
Side action back in the pack. Martin trying to make a move. That's Buckshot Jones, a 0-0 on the inside of Kevin LePage. Looking out the back of Mark Martin's Winn-Dixie Ford. He now pulls down to the inside.
Look at the cars as they come off the corner. And then we see Elton Sawyer going for the lead. Dick Trickle decided he would help him. And look at cars scattered all over the front stretch. And Elton Sawyer will take the lead. That's Bobby Labonte in second. Dick Trickle comes off trying to take that second spot. And he will.
Well, not so fast as Bobby Labonte. Said, Mr. Trickle, I think I respect your age, but right now I'm going to hang on here to second spot. And Hermie Sadler, Ned, looks hot.
He is running, I don't know if the car's pushing up there or maybe a tad loose and he's having to drive it up there.
And there's Steve Park, that car in 5th spot, his first trip here to the Michigan Speedway, drives for Dale Earnhardt in the NASCAR Busch Series. And here they come, 3 abreast. Dale Jarrett on the bottom of that 3 abreast as he goes in turn 1. Back up front, Elton Sawyer still winless in 1997. In fact, one career Busch win coming at Myrtle Beach back in 1994, but now Park tries to make a move. They get a good run off the corner, but they just can't pull down the straightaway. They lose a little momentum as they exit the corner.
Ooh, they're close together.
This is Mark Mark's car as he watches that battle between Steve Park and Hermie Sadler. And here again, 3 abreast. On the inside is Jimmy Spencer. That's the white car, number 20, the Zippo Chevy you're seeing there. That's Spencer's machine. Great aerial shot of turns 1 and 2. You see him scrambling back there, 2 and 3 wide, and again up front, a challenge. Out of the lead, Bobby Labonte will go back in front. Trickle tries to follow him. And wow, here comes Park. They got Sawyer off the accelerator net, and he's losing ground.
Yeah, he didn't have to back off but just for a split second. Here comes Mark Martin trying to come up in there and to win Dixie forward.
Oh, my goodness. 5 wide. They were 6 wide a moment ago coming out of 4. They pared down the 5. Now it is 4 abreast. The 77 car is coming back. Maybe it looks like Barrier was off the pace, but now he's coming back. He was 5 deep on the apron of the racetrack.
That's the kind of racing we used to see here at Michigan Speedway in the Winston Cup Series before they got to running as fast as they're running now.
Yes, they're running 100 of the Winston Cup cars are about 6 or 7 miles per hour faster than these cars.
And boy, this makes for great racing.
That's Scott Legacy's car, number 22, down on the inside of David Bonnet, the Dunlop Ford, Doug Taylor machine, and they run side by side for position. Shane Hall on the outside of Ed Barrier, this 85 car. And one car slowing down on the racetrack. Looks to be the car number 72. This is for Detroit Gasket Chevrolet from Mike Dillon. Bill, what's the problem?
The throttle stuck. He had to cut it off. He radioed in, the throttle stuck. I'm shutting it off. So he's going to have to coast on back.
Boy, after a great run at IRP, almost had a top 10 finish, finished 11th there, now slows down here in the early lap. Started. We're in the early laps here, and Bobby Labonte trying to hold off the challenge of the veteran Dick Trickle in the Duralube Chevrolet. It is Pontiac, 2 Chevrolets, and a Ford. That's the top 4. As Labonte, Trickle, Park, and Martin lead the charge after 8 laps to complete of 100 here at Michigan Speedway. We'll be right back. Brooklyn, Michigan, here in the early laps of the Detroit Gasket 200 NASCAR Busch Series event. Bobby Labonte is shown as our leader a lap ago. Dick Trickle tried to make a run. Couldn't make it. Mark Martin was making a run. Trickle decided to move up in between Martin and Labonte, and they had been running nose to tail for the front 3 since that time. Car will be driven by Tony Stewart next year on the NASCAR Busch Series. And we see Hermie Sadler, the pole sitter, is back to 10th spot. Bill Weber, what's going on with Hermie?
Hermie's okay. He has an advantage here. He's got a good driver that spots for him. That's Curtis Markham. And Hermie's biggest mistake was he got out of line. And Curtis told him, I know, I've raced here. I know how difficult it is to stay in line. But early in this race, you have to hold your position and stay in line, or they're all going to go by you. That's what's happened once already to Hermie Sadler, but his car is handling well.
There he is, Hermie Sadler. Hermie is his dad, so obviously that's why he's called Hermie. There's the DeWalt Chevrolet, picking up his 3rd pole of his career, his first on the Super Speedway. Biggest track he had qualified on had been up in Milwaukee. Lead change, Mark Martin goes from 9th to 1st in 12 laps here in Michigan. So Martin way forward. Bobby Leslie, the crew chief, is a little bit concerned about this brand-new car they brought here. How would it run early in the race? I think they just found out.
Yeah, that's not good news for the competitors when Mark Martin takes the lead this early on.
You're exactly right. That thing, boy, it goes through these corners so well and has a lot of downforce. Here it is. You can see how it goes through the corners. It drops right down on the inside of Bobby Labonte, presses on the accelerator, and just motors right on by.
Jack Roush power plant, that brand-new engine, brand-new race car, first time out here at Michigan. They were a little concerned the car didn't qualify better, although I think the top 10 qualifying spot isn't bad. But early on, this car very impressive. It comes from 9th to 1st.
Steve Clark still hanging on. And there's the speed at the line. 170.4.
They say Elton Sawyer had 170.620 back there. He picked up a good draft on somebody. Elton was up there leading a little while ago, but he's dropped back now.
Back in 7th position.
Bill Parsons going by Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the outside, the 31 car. As Bill goes by, Dale Jarrett comes up.
How about those three names? An Earnhardt, a Parsons, and a Jarrett all together. Pretty good history in those three families. They're riding along with Bill Parsons and the Channel Lock Chevrolet. That's the second sponsorship, which I'm told could possibly be on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car all of 1998 as he runs the entire Busch Series. That is back 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. McLaughlin, Ned, he has come on in a hurry.
He's coming up. He started 34th and turned to running in 25th place, so he's picking his way up through there, trying to get another spot there, but couldn't quite do it.
There's the car number 34, McLaughlin, right behind Tim Fedewa and Jason Keller in the Slim Jim machine. Keller actively looking for a sponsor for 1998. The in-car camera, the Gould Pumps in-car. The Royal Oak charcoal machine of Mike McLaughlin.
And Fedewa trying to get by Jason Keller. That's Fedewa in the 33 car, and McLaughlin will come as well. To give Mike McLaughlin another spot. Move him up to the 24th spot.
You know, after three top 5 finishes in the last 4 events for McLaughlin, he had his worst finish of the year last week at IRP, where he finished 37th. And what a lick, Ned. He took into that wall, that concrete wall.
He did hit awfully hard.
Mike McLaughlin in the 21 car, the 47 car is Robert Presley. And the points leader, Randy LaJoy, back in 20th spot. He started 24th or something. He's only up to 20th spot. Kyle Petty's having problems.
According to his guys in the pit, he's not having any problems. He's just riding, running his own race, maybe conserving a little fuel like you guys talked in the beginning. You got to remember, Randy LaJoy beat some of the greatest drivers in the world up here just a few weeks ago in the IROC race, so he knows how to get around this place. Bill?
Kyle, Todd Bodine had a great plan to get to the front of the field. He was going to follow Randy LaJoy. The only problem is he's already passed him. Now, Clyde McLeod, his team manager, told me that car is totally different from the car that Todd qualified. And then this morning, they changed the rear shock and the front sway bar. I said, can Todd get to the front? And Clyde just folded his arms and said, watch him.
Right now he's running in 17th spot. Ricky Craven right behind him. That's Craven in the 2 car.
There's Todd Bodine. Boy, he has struggled the last 2 weeks. He finished 24th at St. Louis and 25th at IRP. Now being shown 150 points back.
Matt Kins at the 17 car behind Ricky Craven, one of the guys I was talking about that needs to run 200 miles. Kansas tries to get alongside of Ricky Craven. Can't quite make it. Well, he did make it. Can't take the spot away. Charge down the corner. Yeah, there you go. He's learning. And look at that 74 car. Oh, no, hold on.
He got close.
He started pushing
Still close.
Tony Boosley came off that corner. I thought the car was going to push right in the left rear quarter of Freeman's car.
All right. And a couple of cars have been making their way through the field. These two right here.
You would think that it would be the other way around, that Dale Earnhardt Jr. running his first Super Speedway event would be drafting Dale Jarrett, but that's not the case. Dale Jarrett is drafting Dale Earnhardt Jr. They've come up into 9th and 10th now. They started back, Jarrett started in 20th place, and Earnhardt started in 18th place.
Only the 5th ever start in a Busch car for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And Steve Park trying to take over the 3rd spot. That's Park in the 3 car on the inside.
Mark Martin is our leader. Dick Trickle runs second. This is the battle for 3rd, side by side you're watching.
The tires are heating up. They're beginning to slip a little bit in the turns now, and especially those that the chassis might not be perfect for them.
Well, we had a heavy rain here at Michigan Speedway this morning, so the racetrack was a very green racetrack when it started. Jeff Burton on the inside of the 88 car. That's Kevin LePage on the outside. And on the hood it says 2BA. Does that mean to be announced?
To be announced. They have an announcement coming up in early October. I think October 4th. It says on the hood there, 1997, when David Ridling and Kevin LePage will announce their sponsorship for 1998. So why not tell everybody when it's going to be? TBA.
Okay. There you can see Earnhardt and Jerry have called him. Earnhardt just goes right on by. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a great race car, and he's doing a good job of driving it.
Bill Parsons joins this group. Tries to get by LePage. Can't quite make it. Backs off. We're listening to him as he backs off. Back on the gas. Now he'll try to drive under Kevin LePage. He'll go up the hill, use all the corner he can. And make the pass. Now we see Dale Jr. going by Jeff Burton. Who are these guys? Just another car. He's yellow. That's all. Painted yellow.
You know, it was this race a year ago that people began to really notice Elliott Sadler. He got his debut with Diamond Ridge, and Gary Beckley saw what a young talent he was. And today, we're seeing another young talent. At least in the early laps, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been very impressive.
He has been. Tony Uri told me when they came here to see Phil Parsons motion to the 88 car, said, come on, let's draft together and see if we can't catch this 9 car. Tony Uri told me when Dale Jr. came here and tested that he was very, very impressive. Let's see how fast these cars are running at the line. We're still running 170 miles per hour. The leaders are. And the 9 car, we see 166 miles per hour. He's hung up in that traffic. That's one reason his speed is so slow.
Well, this race is 100 laps, but with those kind of speeds you just saw there, we're almost a quarter of the way through. As you ride along, you see the motioning going on from Phil Parsons. As Mark Martin is still being shown as our leader, and Bill, he's pulling away a little bit.
Yeah, that car's really coming to him, Jerry. In fact, that car has been loose, bad loose, since they got here. They tried to tighten it as much as they could. Bobby Leslie told me before the race they couldn't make the car any tighter. First thing Mark says on the radio, the car's a little too tight. So they talked about an air pressure adjustment. Then just moments ago, he said the car's starting to loosen up a little bit. It's just tight in traffic. Out front, it's real good.
That's just what the competitors want to hear, that Mark Martin's crew can get that car even better. Well, 2,500 laps to complete. Martin is our leader. Trickle in second spot. We'll be right back. Back at Michigan Speedway here, just past the quarter mark. 25 laps, 27 laps now complete as the Winn-Dixie Ford of Mark Martin, the two-time winner, has set sail. He just joined us. Mark qualified 9th in a brand-new car. Thought the car was going to be loose all weekend, and now he has just taken off toward the front of the field and is beginning to pull away. Big weekend for kart racing. Today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2, kart pole qualifying for the Texaco Avalon 200. And Sunday at 3 p.m. on ESPN2 on the grid as they set the stage. And then the Texaco Avalon 200 will come to you live at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. So an exciting weekend for kart action here on ESPN and ESPN2.
See Jimmy Spencer, the 20 car, and Elton Sawyer both able to get by the 3 car of Steve Park. But Dale Jarrett just had a problem coming up that second corner.
Yeah, he got tapped a little bit in the rear coming off of that corner and almost got into the wall.
There we see Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading Phil Parsons, Jeff Burton, Kevin LePage, and Danny Jarrett is the back. Dale Jarrett was leading this group the last time, Bob.
Yeah, he was, and came off of that second turn, and Dale Jr. came up on him pretty quick, touched him just a little bit, shot Dale Jarrett almost into the wall, and of course the whole crew went by him at that time.
There's Randy LaJoy, the 74 car, the blue 74. That's Ricky Craven, the 2 car, Robert Presley, 47, Jeff Fuller, the 45, and Michael Waltrip as they try to chase down the 1 car. 18th, 19th.
That's Todd Bodine, the 36 car right in front of the Stanley Tools Pontiac. That's the championship point battle. We're going to go away a little bit. There is Todd Bodine. Matt Kenseth right in front of him in Robbie Reiser's Craft machine. Robert Presley trying to make a move underneath Craven.
19th and 20th.
Presley tries Craven on the inside.
Didn't really have the right angle into the turn that time to make the pass. He realized it and decided rather than hit him or spin out, he better back off, and he did.
69 laps to go. We have been caution-free, and I told you there was just 1 caution last year, and there was not a single caution the year before. Just 1 caution for 4 laps and over 400 miles of Busch action at Michigan Speedway.
That's amazing. So we've had some great opportunities for caution flags this afternoon already.
And to think the last 2 races the Busch cars have run, guys, they've had 25 cautions for 161 laps.
Dennis Setzer, the Lance car in the pit, been slow on the racetrack, and they're working on the, looks like they're working on the rear of the car. He goes back on the racetrack.
There's the guy they're chasing, Winn-Dixie Ford. Mark Martin, 2-time winner here at Michigan.
And David Bonnet is slow up against the wall, might have made contact with the wall. But do we have a caution flag?
Yes, we do, Benny. And this is exactly when we had the caution flag last year.
Exactly. Came out on lap 32, and on lap 33, 2 guys pitted, Jeff Purvis and Kevin LePage, and they ran 67 laps and finished first and second.
Same scenario is working again. Is
David Bonnet with Dunlop Golf, sponsoring Ford, number 40, that he's driving here. Of course, they worked out a deal with the Kmart Race Against Drugs program, donating their winnings here today to that Race Against Drugs for kids.
You know, they were talking to Bill Olson, the president of Dunlop, is here today for the first time coming to a race, and they realized from a survey that Dunlop has said that 50% of all the drivers are golfers, 70% of all the fans are golfers, and 100% of all the sponsors are golfers. So why not be involved?
I think it's a great idea for them and a great opportunity for them.
well, we talked about it last year, that some of these teams made it. Is that what's going to happen this time, you think, Ned? Or some of these guys going to pit now and try to make it the rest of the way?
Well, I swore last year that there'd be no way that they could go 67 laps last year, and a couple of them proved me wrong and did it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't look back at their notebook. They don't have to look back at their notebook. They knew it coming here, so there might be some of them that'll try to do it.
A lot of guys in the garage yesterday and on Thursday talking about the fact they got snookered here last year on fuel mileage, and they were trying to plan. If that happened again, they wanted to be ready. Now we're going to see how ready they're going to be.
I think we'll see most of them come in anyway. I think that Mark Martin and all of them will come in, change tires, fill up fuel. Yeah, here they come, down pit road.
And Jack Roush told me last year, the 60 car, they stopped. Mark Martin stopped last year, lost this race, but Roush told me he could have made the 67 laps. Can he do the same thing this year? Bill Weber?
Mark Martin leads the field down pit road. This will be 4 tires and 1 round of fight into the car. They go around to the right side. Jack goes underneath. The round goes in. Right side tire is going on. We'll come around to the left side. And what's going to be important here is they're going to get every drop of fuel possible into Mark's Winn-Dixie Ford. Very congested down here with McLaughlin behind him. Mark getting his left side tire. Kyle Petty.
Nick Trickle's in the pit. He changed right side tires. They made a track bar adjustment, not a wedge adjustment, a track bar. They raised it outsides are on. He's down, he's out, right behind Mark Martin.
All right. As Yogi Bear would say, it's deja vu.
Now the race is going off pit road now. So all these pit stops are completed. How they cross that white line is how they'll restart. Look out, don't get run over there on the end of pit road. Mark Green and Robert Presley almost tied as they crossed that line.
Well, I started to say deja vu all over again because it's exactly what happened a year ago. Happened today. And now we'll see if the fuel mileage bug, everyone else was able to figure it out a year ago. Only 2 were able to make it, though, the full 67 laps. There is Mark Martin, who was our leader after starting back in 9th spot. 34 of 100 laps are complete. Still working the first caution flag today. Back with more from Michigan in a moment. Well, back at Michigan, after some ugly thunder showers this morning, it has turned into a beautiful day, and what a crowd. They were expecting a crowd of about 70,000. I think they have at least that many, if not more, for what is exciting NASCAR Busch Series action, and the infield is absolutely packed. And speaking of packed, we're going to pack in some action come Monday night, Prime Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Join our host, Mike Tirico. He'll set the stage for NFL preseason action. And then coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC, it is Monday Night Football, NFL preseason style, as the Jacksonville Jaguars face the San Francisco 49ers. Mark Brunell, what everyone thought was a season-ending injury, good news, he'll be out 8 weeks, be back in action come October. Monday night, ABC, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Hermie Sadler, the pole sitter of the 1 car, chose to come back in and put that last splash of gasoline in there, right, Bill Weber?
That's right, Benny. Now, after what happened in this race last year, there's nobody down here that's going to tell you the truth if they can make it or not. If they tell you something, you got to believe they're lying anyway. For instance, I was pretty sure that Mark Martin could make it from this point, but I just talked to Steve Neal, and he said, well, we thought we could too, but based on the fuel mileage we've gotten in the first 30-plus laps of this race, we'll be 7 laps short. The 38 bunch, the Barbasol Ford of Elton Sawyer, they say we cannot make it. We're not planning on it at this point. We're working on another strategy. So everybody says they can't make it, and if somebody tells you they can, better ask them again. Kyle Petty.
Well, Jeff Burton's got a different set of problems. First, at the first part of the race there, I noticed him coming down the front stretch, waving his arm out the window. I go to his pit. His radio's not working. He can hear the crew. They can't hear them. He's motioning. He's passing people on the left and right, and he's got his left arm hung out the window. During that pit stop, he was fortunate. They gave him another button. They asked him to hook it up in the car, which is a task unto itself, having a driver hook up a radio in a car. He's got it hooked up, but now it's hung wide open from his side. So they can hear everything he says, but he can't hear anything they've said. They've got the pit board out. He's back to the hand on the roof, hand on the door, waving my hand. He's back to hand signals the way it was when you guys.
Bill Parsons had gone down the corner, was looking pretty good, and all of a sudden something happened. Looked like he got loose or something. And the 31 goes by Earnhardt. I guess he got behind the 43 car of Setzer.
Setzer was a couple laps down. He had made a green flag pit stop not too long before the caution came out. That did really bunch him up down there in that corner.
And we are being told that it's going to black flag the 7-0 of Dale Fishline. We watch Bill Parsons, currently 3rd in the point standings. Apparently the 70 car exiting pit road too quickly. They're going to bring him in for a stop-and-go penalty. Tough break for Dale Fishline.
And he had just come in when Hermie Sadler did, apparently to top off or make an adjustment on his car or something, but he was sitting on pit road and Hermie was going out. So that is a tough break.
Bobby Labonte is taking over the 2nd spot. We saw Dick Trickle had come out pit in 2nd, but the 44 car is now in 2nd.
Now, Benny, we're told now that they're not going to black flag Dale Fishline. They've reversed that decision, so good news for him and his team.
All right, here's Jimmy Spitzer in the Zippo Chevy, trying to zip on the inside of the car number 3 of Steve Park. He has parked and now sets his sights on Dick Trickle.
Well, the start of the 38 car was trying to follow the 20 car. Spencer could not quite make it. There we see the car on the inside. The yellow car is Shane Hall. On the outside, Jeff Fuller, Michael Waltrip. And back up front, here comes Steve Park as he tries to go into the 4th spot.
That's Park and Trickle side by side with Elton Sawyer right behind Park. Who do I follow? Who do I follow? He tries to move to the inside, and now that could cost him a position.
Well, I think they're going to try to follow Steve Park and try to push him on by Dick Trickle, and maybe he can suck on by himself. When I say suck on by, that's how the draft works sometimes. But he did push Park by, but couldn't quite make himself.
Ever see Randy LaJoy, the 74 car, and the yellow car is Todd Bodine. Bill Morrison sandwiched between them. That is the points. The 74 the leader by 150 over 36 cars.
With that, go ahead, Ed. Phil Parks is in third place, and you got your top 3 point people in running together there. And both Todd Bodine and Randy LaJoy made great pit stops there. They've got themselves in good track position.
9th, 10th, and 11th. You're riding along the Channel Lock bumper cam, looking back at Todd Bodine, Stanley Pontiac. The 10th place car looking back at the 11th place car.
There's a slow car there. I guess that's David Bonnet. He has made repairs and he's back on the racetrack. And obviously, after he made contact with the wall, it's not happening like it did to begin with. Probably will go back to the pit.
Well, David's already 5 laps down, unfortunately.
Trying to get back into Busch Series racing after that great run at Daytona a year ago, where he came from 38 to take the lead on lap 65.
Holder, Hermie Sadler, we told you he stopped to top off with that last drop of gasoline there, trying to work his way back to the front. He's right now in 35th spot. That's Mark Krogh in the 80 car in front of him. And right in front of Mark Krogh is his brother Jeff.
They started side by side and still racing nose to tail. The Krogh brothers.
Meanwhile, we were just 8 laps away from the halfway point, making 7 that time by.
Dale Fishline is now going to lap down. And here comes Spencer. Jimmy Spencer, the white car on the inside, trying to take over second spot from Bobby Labonte and Steve Park. The 3 car says, I'll help you all I can, Spencer.
Only Jimmy Spencer's 8th Busch start here in the 1997 season as he watches the battle through his rearview mirror.
Right behind an engine going, looks like, and Dick Trickle looks like losing an engine coming off turn 4.
Boy, what a tough break for Dick Trickle. 14th in the point standing. Had run 19 of the 21 events thus far for Dennis Shoemaker, trying to finish the top 25 in both Winston Cup and Busch Series points, and now he is slow on the racetrack.
If that thing isn't running, fellas, he will not be able to coast back around all the way.
Let's go down to Kyle Petty.
As soon as he pulls down on the apron, the crew starts taking their headsets off, all except for the crew chief. He said it just broke. Coming up out of the floor, he got in the gas, and it just puffed smoke out of it. It broke. He's going to try to make it back around. Like you say, if it broke over here coming out of turn 4, it's going to be a struggle for him to make it back around.
And Steve Park tried to take over the spot from Bobby Labonte, tried to take over the 3rd spot, and he lost 2 spots in so doing. Elton Sawyer able to get by, and also Jeff Burton. And there you see the 64 car, Ned. He's halfway back.
Yeah, he's halfway. I don't know if he'll be able to coast the rest of the way or not. If he has no power, I don't know. It'll be Martin.
Right in the middle of the screen. Watch as Dick Trickle comes off the corner, and there we see the engine going away.
Ooh, and Jeff Burton, the yellow car, is right behind him, and he just made a sharp left there to get out of the way, and look at the car scramble to get by him.
Michael Waltrip just exiting pit road, had a flat right front tire on the Band-Aid Ford. Came in to Ronnie Silver and Company.
Michael comes out of the pit. Very unfortunate, boy. That is hard to make up. Here at the Michigan Speedway.
One good thing about it, Ned, at least he can make it the rest of the way now. So if some of the other cars have to stop
under green,
then he will make up some time on them.
What a lead group. If you just joined us, there's only been one caution flag. That's coming on lap 32. This guy right here, Mark Martin in the Winn-Dixie Ford, started back in 9th and has led for the bulk of the first 46 laps here at Michigan Speedway. Back with more in a moment. Back at Michigan, this could be a record-setting day for the Winn-Dixie Ford driver, Mark Martin. If you look at our field summary, Martin with 31 career victories. If he wins today, will set a new Busch Series record for total wins.
In parentheses, where the driver started, see Bodine started in 20th. See Elliott Sadler back in 25th, started 39th. But on the flip side of that, we see Hermie Sadler back in 31st, who started first. But again, he stopped and topped off the fuel, trying to be sure that he could run to the end of the race with the fuel in the car.
34 drivers still on the lead lap.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The 5 cars run in the group.
Mark is not pulling away from them right now, Vinny. Now, whether he's just sort of cooling once he's out there and trying to conserve fuel.
I think that's the key right now, Ned, is just trying to conserve some fuel. As Steve Neal told Bill Weber, they're 6 laps short. Well, if Mark Martin really tries, he might be able to save those 6 laps by the time the end of this race.
All right, these beautiful shots from high above this 2-mile D-shaped oval in the Irish Hills of Michigan, courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and our Pennzoil copter cam. And that's the interval right there from the copter cam of Pennzoil between first and second spot. Mark Martin started 9th, is leading. And Jimmy Spencer started back in 16th position in the Zippo Chevrolet, has come all the way to second spot.
The championship battle going on here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 31. He's not in the championship battle, but that blue car on the inside, the yellow car on the outside, Randy LaJoie and Todd Bodine are in the championship battle, and they're battling like it's the last race, and they're going for the championship.
At 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Buckshot Jones is 11th, and Phil Parsons is 12th. Steve Park trying to take that 3rd spot away from Bobby Labonte. Tried this before, but they cannot come off the corner. He wisely backs up, follows Bobby Labonte off the corner. And we'll drop back to this battle.
All right, there's the battle of the points, guys. Todd Bodine in the car number 36. Look at this reversal of fortune. First 17 events of the year, average finish 7th. The last 4 races, Todd Bodine, average finish 16th, including a 24th and 25th place finish the last 2 races at St. Louis and IRP.
Joe Bessie, the 6th car, power team car going behind the wall.
Back to that battle for 3rd spot. They are now single file. Bobby Labonte has the position. Steve Park back and forth. There's 5th and 6th.
Jeff Burke just taking that spot away from Elton Sawyer.
See, there's Mark Martin on the left of your screen. He's the leader, staying out there about 5 or 6 car lengths. Pursuers.
On your screen there with less than 50 laps to go. The 200-mile race, 100 laps here on this 2-mile oval. Looks like Jeff Burton out the Sawyer struggling to keep up.
Burton in the 9 car, the yellow car. Elton Sawyer 38.
Todd Bodine just went around Dale Earnhardt Jr. going into turn 1, took over the 7th position.
There's what you're talking about.
Able to run them down with this single file deal in the draft. A little bit from the guys in the front.
Could possibly do that.
Well, Todd Bodine figured he could pull him a little bit faster maybe than Dale Jr. was, so he's passing through turns 1 and 2 to try to get that opportunity. There you see the distance. Back to them.
We see right now that Todd Bodine is 4.19 seconds behind the leader, Mark Martin.
Actually, the last 5 or 6 laps, he has lost about a second, but that was while they were jockeying around back there. Now that they're singled out, we'll keep an eye on it and see how he progresses.
There they come, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Todd Bodine, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Jarrett, and Buckshot Jones in the 00, the Aquafresh car.
Checking again at the line and see if Todd Bodine is in fact losing or gaining on the lead. We'll see Mark Martin coming by. He lost time. He went from 4.19 4.19 to 4.36.
We don't ever need to doubt that. Now Dale Earnhardt Jr. made a move to the inside as you watch this battle. For Michigan, what you ordinarily see that these guys have organized themselves single file in a couple of packs. Just going to sit the ride between stops.
Right. Yeah, I think that especially those first four guys, but as we see Steve Park trying to pass, coming down to the start-finish line.
So he's not going to stay organized too long.
Just when I asked the question, Steve messed it up.
Exactly. And none of those guys in the back, that second group, none of those guys want to be there. They want to be up here. If they said, well, if I could be second or third or whatever, I wouldn't mind being in line. But be up front right now, and if the guy in the middle thinks he's faster, he's going to try to pass him. Buckshot thinks he's faster than Dale Jarrett. Trust me, he'll try his best to pass him.
But I think they realize that if they do get the racing around back there and jockeying for position, that they're going to get farther behind. And so if they can stay in line, Grant plays a big part on this racetrack. So it's not as much as they can in Talladega, but certainly it is effective here. Bill Parsons now, he pulls out and tries to move around Buckshot.
That is for 10th position, Bill Parsons in the Channel Lock Chevy down on the inside of Buckshot Jones.
Buckshot drifts up the racetrack. Bill tries to drive under him, but as he comes off the corner, we hear him back out the gas. Folks, you hear that 10 car back out the gas? That's because the car started sliding that front end, pushing across the racetrack. He had to back off or run in the side of the double zero. That's the problem with these cars going off the corner here in Michigan. They want to slide that front end and push.
There's LaJoy, the point leader, right behind Phil Parsons.
And a lot of you folks that are avid racing fans who watch this, you say, well, LaJoy is just sitting there riding. He's got a 150-point lead. Randy LaJoy does not ride, does he, Ned?
No, he's racing as hard as that car will go right now.
Today, that's right.
That split fire snapshot shows you that indeed he is. He started back in 25th position, currently 12th. Hasn't led a lap yet here, but he leads the Busch Series point standing. 150-point lead on the strength of 5 wins here in 1997, including last week at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Todd Bodine, he's made some pretty good progress early on.
Yeah, he did start at 37th spot, so yes, he has made a lot of progresses. Now they're all jockeying as the pace slows down. They're all trying to figure out who's going to be faster. Well, would I be better off in front?
Yeah, they know that Mark Martin is gradually pulling away. They're over 5 seconds behind now. In fact, about 5.5 seconds. So you say, well, maybe we ought to go a little faster. And here's Buckshot. He's got to go faster.
Now, what did I say 2 laps ago? Buckshot thought he could go about 32. He's going fast. Man, Phil gets by. What happened to the car? Well, Buckshot was in front of him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, as the cars, as the laps are counting down, now 39 to go. Bill Weber, the big question is, how about fuel? Who can make it? And more importantly, who can't?
Well, it really begins with who you believe. For instance, down here in Todd Bodine said there's a sign on their toolbox that says they can go 63 laps on a fuel load. And the map comes out to a total of 97 laps. But they're not paying any attention to the map. They're going with their heart. They're going to go for it. Bill Parsons has radioed in that his car doesn't handle very well, but they do think they can make it to the end. The 38 car of Elton Sawyer cannot make it. And as for the 60 bunch, well, they're leading, but Bobby Leslie has updated me. He says they cannot go past lap 87 without stopping for fuel.
Wow.
That means they can make it only, what, about 44 laps or so on fuel, 88 miles. Wow. Well, 38 laps to go. Nice shot from high overhead. The Michigan Speedway is the leader, right side of your screen. Mark Martin showing the way. 2 victories here at Michigan. Looking for win number 3 in the Winn-Dixie Ford Thunderbird. Jimmy Spencer is the white car back behind, looking at the bumper cam. Coming from 16th to 2nd.
If there's been a dominant car in the NASCAR Busch Series this year, it has been Mark Martin. He's run a limited amount of races. And how many victories he had? 6?
has 5 wins.
5 wins.
5 wins and 9 starts in 1997. Pretty good record, huh?
Yeah, if you're a baseball player, you'd like to bat 500.
Indeed, over 500. That's second, third, and fourth, and 23 and 44 on your screen are Spencer Park and Labonte. Hermie Sadler, our pole sitter, back in 30th spot. Remember, he did come on and off pit road late in that one caution flag to top off his tank.
Still showing 34 cars on the lead lap. Tracy Leslie is the last of those.
That's great for Mike Dillon. These cars sponsored by Detroit Gasket. They are sponsoring the race. He had a mechanical problem. Spent 8 laps in the pit. That little tree, they about blow that little tree over when they go by.
Laps at 170 miles an hour as laps continue to click away. Mark Martin is our leader as Spencer Park and Labonte hold down second, third, and fourth. After 64 of 100 laps here in the 6th running of the Detroit Gasket 200, Mark Martin is our leader. Back with more live action in a moment. Michigan, a lot of coverage coming to you from Michigan Speedway this weekend. Later today, Winston Cup happy hour, 6 o'clock Eastern time on the news. Tomorrow, NASCAR Today, live at noon as we set the stage on ESPN2 for our live flag-to-flag coverage at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN of the NASCAR Winston Cup DeVilbiss 400. And following that event, NASCAR Shop Talk featuring Jeff Burton coming up at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time back on ESPN2. Looking at the rear bumper cam of Mike McLaughlin's Gould Pump Chevrolet. He started back in 34th, and then he's made his way up toward the top 20.
Yeah, he's in 20th position right now, Jerry. Still running along good.
Still Fishline right behind him. Fishline is a lap down. Well, Mark Martin still where he was when we left, folks, in front. And no change in front. Spencer, this is Mike Lars in second. The Steve Park, number 3 in third. Bobby Labonte, 44, is in fourth.
Well, Kyle Petty, there are at least 2 Earnhardt cars in the field, and both of them are doing pretty well.
They're both doing really well. And as we've heard on ESPN at different races, we've heard the master's voice, Earnhardt, talking to Park, telling him how to get through traffic, spots for him. Today, he's not spots for him. Ty Norris is. He's not spots for Dale Jr. either. Steve Crisp is. But he's got a radio, and he's listening to both of them. During the last caution, when they left the pit, Dale Jr. started talking about how much fun he was having. He was running up front, running in the top 10. Pit crew was doing good. Everybody's doing good. What a great day it was. Dale came on the radio and said, just concentrate, be quiet, drive the race car. There was a moment of silence, and then Dale Jr. took the mic and said, I was hoping you weren't listening. So, no matter where he goes, he's always going to be there, guys.
I got to ask you guys, is this a place you bring a young driver like a Dale Earnhardt Jr. for his first Super Speedway race?
Ned, it looks like it because he's doing a great job today in keeping his nose fairly clean. It looks like a good place to bring a young driver.
I've been very impressed with his run here today, and so, yes, I wouldn't have thought so. Maybe before that this would be the place, you know, you think, well, maybe Rockingham or one of the mile tracks, but hey, this is a wide racetrack. We've talked about that. He's got a great race car, and has just done a super job of driving it here today, so maybe it is a good place to win.
And now he's trying to take 8th position away from an experienced driver. If you watch along with Phil Parsons in the Channel Lock Chevrolet, our AutoZone race recap shows you Mark Martin is a leader, led 59 of 71 laps with 5 lead changes. Only 1 caution flag for 4 laps. Exactly what happened a year ago. The average speed 156.487 miles per hour.
Dale Jarrett made it a very unexplained pit stop because they were not ready for him, Ned.
No, he had dropped back to 13th position. He was up there in 10th place, but had dropped back. And now he's going to be a lap down. Don't know what the problem was or why he came in. Now they're jacking it up. So, yes, definitely confusion there.
Now, look at the left rear tire on the White Range Gillette Ford. Boy, it's got to be awful lonely right now. On pit road, the car is flashing by under the green. He's losing valuable time. Bill Weber, what's the problem?
Well, I just talked to Todd Parody, who's walking back to the Winston Cup garage. They believe they broke something in the rear end of Dale Jarrett's car.
Well, as the White Gillette car sits on pit lane. We'll check in once again our AutoZone recap. Our lap leaders, there have been 5 of them. Mark Martin has led the bulk of this race. Bobby Labonte, Elton Sawyer, and Dick Trickle led 2 laps. Off track, Joe Bessie is car number 6, the Power Team Machine. And out of the race, Dick Trickle had an engine expire, and he has taken the Duraloop Chevy behind the wall. And, of course, Dale Jarrett still on pit road as they're working on his car.
Back to the lead. Mark Martin. Is that Shane Hall? Lap down. Looks like Shane Hall between the first and second place car. Yes, it is.
It is. He just went a lap down. At least 30 cars on the lead lap.
Shane in the Lux car now lap. Jeff Burton is getting a little racy here now. Near the end of the race.
And his car is much better now than it was before the pit stop. Some adjustments in the right direction.
That is second, third, fourth, and fifth on your screen right there. You just saw our leader fly by. And what is the AutoZone on-track interval between Martin and Spencer? Well,
He opened up just a little bit, went from 1 second, and 5 laps later was 1.5, almost 1.5 seconds. So Mark Martin slowly pulling away from Jimmy Spencer.
and for you Dale Jarrett fans, he was on pit road a moment ago, and they thought it might be a rear-end problem. Now he is talking with his crew chief there, having climbed out of the car, and Clark makes the move.
By Spencer, that second spot. Here comes the 44 car trying to go as well. Bobby Labonte.
Bobby was hoping to pick up the draft this season, but couldn't quite pull it off.
Need to move that low tree.
He's getting a workout of it.
And there is Jeff Burton waiting his turn to make a move. He's in 5th spot. So just 25 laps remain here in the Detroit Gasket 200 before a crowd of over 70,000. We're back with more action in a moment. Back at Michigan Speedway, laps are clicking away. Just a little over 20 to go, and the Winn-Dixie Ford is on track for a record. How about online? Now you can really drive on the Information Superhighway at www.nascar.com. NASCAR Online, weather track users can check the current weather conditions and weekend forecast and live Doppler radar updated every 30 minutes from right here at the racetrack. It pinpoints the racetrack and provides you with the same weather information that NASCAR people see when they look at the way the radar here in the pits, or when we go to the garage and look at it. So www.nascar.com, NASCAR Online. That's interesting. Fans at home can watch what's happening with the weather. What's happening with Dale Jarrett? What's going to Bill Weber?
He's a spectator at this point. DJ, you're out of this one. What happened?
Something happened to the ratchet in the rear end. I felt it pop when I got back in the gas down in 3 and 4. Wasn't sure what happened, but the car got extremely loose and erratic right after that. And we came in, the ratchet wasn't locking at all. So, unfortunately, it took us out. The car was decent. Wasn't going to win, but I thought we could run in the top 10, and this was a brand-new car. Just a little too loose.
Can you defend successfully tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that we can. Got a car that's won all 3 races this year for us, so hopefully it's the same one that won here last year.
Dale Jarrett done for this afternoon's race, but happy hours yet to come.
And you'll be able to see that at 6 o'clock Eastern Time as our live coverage from Michigan continues in the Busch Series here with just 20 laps to go.
And Mark Martin is passing some good race cars. He has already put Scott Legacy, the Crow brothers, he's put them a lap down. Herman Sadler has gone a lap down. And Morgan Shepherd has gone a lap down. So now there are just 24 cars on the lead lap.
And that report we got from Mark Martin's pit a little bit earlier about what Bobby Leslie and Steve Mills said on the fuel was they couldn't go much past lap, what, 84, 85?
87, I think they said.
So that means they're 7 laps away from having to stop.
You'll see Jeff Burton, he comes off the corner, and the 38 car has been able to get by. Elton Sawyer's been able to get by Jeff Burton, and Burton is just locked in behind the cars, cannot get by.
You wonder if when he got in all that traffic of the lap cars, Benny, if maybe his track gear Ford number 9 is not handling, and you can see there, he just didn't go that well down on the inside.
Wow. We see that Buckshot Jones has worked his way in the front of that group. He's now leading Since the restart, he was in 14th and has worked his way up to 7th. And And, folks, he passed 7 good race cars in Buckshot to get there.
Buckshot's best finish coming a third at South Boston this year. Starting back in 10th position, there's Buckshot in the 00, the Stanley Pontiac of Todd Bodine, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. His first super speedway, only his 5th ever Busch Series start, 4th this year. Word is they may have Sickens on the car for 1998, and I got to believe those folks got to be awfully pleased with this performance today. They're thinking about making a move for 1998. Well, we're going to be ready to watch the possible splash and goes that could happen here in the next 4 or 5 laps as our leader, Mark Martin, thinks about fuel mileage. We'll come back and cover it in just a moment. Our speedway coverage of the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Detroit Gasket 200 from Michigan Speedway is being brought to you by Channel Lock, for you who want the best. Penzo helicopter in our copter cam high above Michigan Speedway. That's the setting here. Somewhat of an overcast day. It was a miserable morning with heavy showers there. It looked like Lake Michigan rather than Michigan Speedway in the area. But boy, the sun has come out and the track is dried. And what a crowd we have on hand here watching exciting live Busch Series action.
And here we go. We're talking about splash and go. Kyle Petty.
The 33 car is in for a splash and go. What's interesting about this is he's a teammate to the 74. He's out of fuel right now. They're shooting each other. Bill Weber.
Elton Sawyer was going to pit with Mark Martin, but he couldn't wait any longer. They'd warned him to watch the fuel gauge. He's got all the gas he needs to get to the end, and Elton Sawyer heads back out on the track.
All right, 2 drivers have come. What about Martin? Can Mark Martin make it? Their calculations told him lap 87 was as far as they could go. And here he comes, lap 87, this time by, and Bill Weber, he's headed toward you.
And he rolls down pit road, 65 miles an hour. This will be a time stop. No tires, simply fuel. Mark comes in as the race leader. Steve Neal calling the shot. The gas can goes in. Steve counts it off. 1, 2, 3. Then Mark back out. 3.3 seconds. LaJoie's heading for Kyle Petty.
LaJoie's coming down pit road, just like I said before. Vito with a 33 car, his teammate, just pitted for a splash and go. He was out of fuel. Randy comes by. Randy's car's running, and he's talking on the radio. Quick, quick, quick.
1,
They
2, 3, 4, 5.
You heard him count it out, and he's back out again.
He was counting a little bit faster than seconds there. He needs to say it 1,001, 1,002, and that's the way you do a second.
Yeah, I think so. The adrenaline was pumping. He's in 1, 2, 3, 4. As our leader flashes by. That is Steve Park in the car number 3. Well, what about the car number 3? Will he pit? Will he be able to make it all the way? Rookie Steve Park, who's already won once this year for Teresa and Dale Earnhardt.
And that's another driver who's never been to this racetrack before. Might not sit in first. And then I talked about these young drivers that didn't need to worry about fuel mileage or anything. It looks like Steve Park may need to worry about fuel mileage.
Well, he moves to the inside of Stevie Ray. It looks like he may be slowing to come on the pit road, but he's just coming down across the banking to pass the green car. That is the 20 car, the Zippo machine of Jimmy Spencer behind him. Enter the second place car, Terry Labonte, or should I say Bobby Labonte. The 44 car is third. That's first, second, and third on your screen.
Now I'm going to guesstimate that if anybody in that crew right there can make it, it'll be Bobby Labonte.
In the Pontiac. Yeah. You got 2 Chevrolets and a Pontiac.
This is the debut of the Joe Gibbs Busch Series engine in that car of Bobby Labonte. The first engine for Gary Wilson, who will build the engine next year for their Busch Series program, and Tony Stewart.
Made a great debut here today.
There's the pit crew for Steve Park.
Park's only win, or his first win in Busch Series competition as a rookie, came April 19th at Nashville, Tennessee, trying to get his first super speedway victory. Can he hang on for 10 more laps? About 9.5 laps, we should say.
Bobby Labonte looked like he wanted to go by Jimmy Spencer as they both close up on the back bumper of Steve Park.
We're hearing rumors the 9 car of Jeff Burton, the 4th place car, may have to pit for fuel. He didn't come in that time. These are the top three. There's the yellow car first in fourth position, the track gear Ford. Let's check in a pit with Bill Weber.
A couple of guys that think they might be able to make it. Phil Parsons, his crew has told him it's going to be close, Bob. The other one is Todd Bodine. The map and their pit, the chart says 98.5 miles. Todd has just disconnected the fuel gauge, so he has no idea. They're going for it.
Jerry Labonte comes down pit road, the Bayer car, to make a pit stop, splash of gasoline. As Hart, there we see Jerry Labonte has his gasoline, and he's back on the racetrack as Steve Hart goes by, still has not come in.
You wonder where Mark Martin is running. He's in 14th position after he made his pit stop.
Well, if these guys can hang on, we'll see fuel mileage pay dividends for the second year in a row here at Michigan Speedway.
This year and last year exactly the same. Caution flag coming out on almost the same lap. Restart almost the same lap. And Hart, once again, is not going to pit.
Well, a year ago, it was a guy named Purvis who made the fuel mileage pay. Today, it could be a young man named Park.
And it was the three-car playing in the race with Jeff Green at the wheel.
Exactly.
He ran out.
Six laps to go. A year ago, Jeff Green had to pit for fuel. It's the same race car, same team, we should say, that Jeff Green was driving for a year ago, and fuel mileage bit him a year ago and cost him a win. We'll see if they can maybe make up for it today.
And right now, Steve Park is pulling away from Spencer, and Spencer is pulling away from Labonte. That's the Zippo Chevrolet.
Penny, what about the three? What are they saying down there?
I've never seen this many calculators in a pit in my life. Everybody is figuring. They need to run 6 more laps. They've got it figured that they can run 6.48 more laps. So that's about 6.5 more laps. That's all they need, guys, and they're going to gamble with it.
6.48 laps, and they've got 6 laps to go. Let's hope the batteries are fresh in those calculators.
Exactly. Back in 21st spot.
We'll show you the interval leaderboard coming here next. We'll see what the interval is back.
Jeff Burton has dropped back 4 seconds behind. So you can see it continues to grow as we get on back to the track. Phil Parsons 11 seconds behind. He's running in 9th place.
With Jimmy Spencer in the car number 20. He's up there running right behind Park a moment ago. Wonder if Spencer thinks maybe he can make it and believes maybe the 3 cars going to run out again.
Well, I guess that's his only choice right now, is just to gamble and back off and try to save all the fuel he can and hope that he can make it, because it's too late now because there's just 4 laps to go. If the caution flag should come out now, it's very unlikely that they could restart before they're into the race.
Boy, is it a chance down there?
Yes, it is. So you can tell that they just decided to go for it.
That's Al Kressinger, crew chief for Jimmy Spencer. Gas man up on the wall for the blue car. Not going to take any chances. Got the gas can there. Got the balaclava on.
We're just waiting right now for that fuel pressure gauge to bobble. If it bobbles, Park will come in.
There's a car going slowly into turn 3 over there. Don't know if it's one that has run out of gas or what the situation is, but he should be able to coast on around and get back to the pit area.
Looks to me like Steve Park with 3 laps to go is going to give it a shot. He's going to try. As he closes up right on the back bumper of Brandon Joy and Elliott Sadler. That's Sadler directly in front.
Well, there's Jimmy Spencer in 2nd spot. There's Bobby Labonte in the Pontiac. The shell colors. Bobby Labonte, who won this race back in 1994 in 3rd position.
Ricky Craven comes down pit road. He couldn't go any farther. That car that was coasting was Dale Fishline. He did coast back to the pit.
All right, good to come off forward. Steve Park once again. 2 laps to go.
get a little draft. Jeff Gordon did in California with Ray Everett said draft anything that moves these last few laps. Steve Park pulls up to try to ride the draft a little bit, now makes a pass on Elliott Sadler. And right in front of him is the points leader. That's Randy LaJoy.
He's running in 18th position. 29 car of Elliott Sadler in 19th.
Now he's Vincent drove down in the corner. Oh, but he pushed up the hill.
They got the can up. I wonder if Steve is talking to him.
White flag. No point putting the gas in now.
No. Committee, all they can do is just go out and hope and pray that thing's run this last mile and a half.
Final lap here at Michigan Speedway in the 620 of the Detroit Gasket 200. Rookie driver Steve Park trying to hold on. He's got 1 mile to go for his first Super Speedway victory.
Still hanging in there. He's getting close to the point that he could coast the rest of the way, maybe not coast and win. Wait a minute, is he slowing down? No. I thought for a moment there that he was slowing down, Vinny, but he just saw that car in front of him, I guess. He's going to make it.
Got to have enough throttle to come out of 4. He's drafted down the bottom of the racetrack, and Park will come across and take the victory. 29-year-old rookie driver Steve Park gets his first Super Speedway win at Michigan Speedway, and they celebrate in the AC Telco pit. Let's go down to Kyle Petty.
Hey, there's more celebrations down here. Wait a minute. There's more celebrations down here. These guys get thought they were just won the Daytona 500. Hey, he's talking to this guy right now. Wait a minute. Hey, they hadn't talked to him since he passed the start-finish line. Are you, hey, oh, guy now the radio jumped in. Okay, look, let me ask you a question. Did the guys, was it much of a gamble for you?
Well, I'll put it this way. We worked on the fuel cell more than we worked on the car, getting it ready to come here. We lost this race last year on fuel mileage. We weren't going to lose it this year.
Made a great call. Great run, guys.
All right, Tony Uri Sr., and there's the young man who won his first Super Speedway race, and he may have a shot at taking over third in the points. We'll calculate those points and talk to him when we come back to Michigan in just a moment.
And Steve Park climbs from his car in victory lane. Well, we have a new tradition in victory lane, one that began last week. But Steve Park celebrates with his crew. There's a guy right behind him that's trying to shake his hand. That would be Dale Earnhardt. And he can't even get in. Now they exchange. Let's get in here real quick. Hey, congratulations, Steve. Congratulations, Dale. Stay here just a second. Obviously, a great win for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this AC Delco Chevrolet Monte Carlo was just hauling butt. And boy, is this thing good on gas or what?
You tell me how much was left.
There's probably a teaspoon left. And every time I got a chance to draft, they kept telling me to conserve fuel. And I was drafting, running about 3/4 throttle. And Jimmy Spencer was catching me, and then I had to put the throttle back down again. But I got to thank the Lord. He was with us today. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Well, congratulations to you, Dale Earnhardt. How exciting was that to watch? How nerve-wracking?
Well, I tell you, gas mileage is something you don't know about. When Tony, these guys worked awful hard, and Park, he keeps doing a better job. And so thank all the guys who worked awful hard on this AC Delco car. And they did a great job today.
He wasn't the only guy in the Earnhardt family that had a good day. Your son did quite a job.
Well, he did. He stayed out of trouble and learned a lot, and he come home with a top 10 finish. So we're happy for him, too, and the Stickens folks. But this 3-car, we need to win AC Delco up here.
I'd just like to thank all the guys back in the shop. I know you guys are watching. You guys are all number one. We're going to come back and party with you guys. And I also want to wish Ron Hornaday the best of luck. He always wishes me good luck, and it come through today. So, Ron, go get him, buddy.
Steve, this is a wide-open track, a lot of racing here. Obviously, a lot of green flag racing that helped you today. But talk about your experience coming to this track and actually winning in this race.
I had no experience. Goodyear just had a great tire. We were able to go past the halfway point on a load of fuel, and I just got to say hello to my mom and dad. I know they're probably ecstatic back home, and this is it. This is number one.
Steve Park in victory lane with Dale Earnhardt's team at the Michigan Speedway.
Boy, his second career victory in Busch Series competition coming in his 25th start. His first win came back in April 19th at Nashville, Tennessee. And his first super speedway win comes today in the 6th annual Detroit Gasket 200. Back with more from Michigan in a moment. Our speed road coverage of the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Detroit Gasket 200 from Michigan Speedway has been brought to you by True Value, official hardware store of NASCAR and garages everywhere. By Quaker State, the quality your car deserves. And by the more than 1,650 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. There's a shot of our winner, Steve Park. 29-year-old driver getting his first super speedway win. Jimmy Spencer finishing second all the way from 16th spot. There's Bobby Labonte back in 3rd spot. Jeff Burton, the fuel mileage was good for him. He finished 4th, and Buckshot Jones in 5th.
All of those cars excepting Mark to get down to Mark Martin. I think he was the first, and he finished 11th. That the other 10 were able to go that last 60-some laps.
And Todd Bodine able to gain some on Randy LaJoy, because we see LaJoy finished in 17th spot, and Todd Bodine finished in 7th spot, so he gained a few points.
All right, 42 cars started. We'll show you where your favorite drivers finished. We'll take you back 31st through 42nd. Dick Trickle, the first one to exit, had an engine problem. Joe Bessie was behind the wall. Dale Jarrett, you heard us talk to him on pit road, his problems. David Bonnet finished 39th, 12 laps back. Well, the point standings, well, they will jumble up a little bit. And, Benny, you're right. Todd Bodine has made a move.
Has made a move, and Steve Park, with a victory today, moves by Phil Parsons into 3rd spot.
All right, there is the car owner, winning car owner, Teresa Earnhardt. As she is there with her driver, Steve Park, as they continue to celebrate their win here in the Detroit Gasket 200. The second of what are 5 consecutive Busch Series races you will see here on ESPN. We were last week at...
And the fellow standing beside of Steve Park is Ron Parker, the CEO of Detroit Gasket, giving the owner's trophy and the driver's trophy to the winning owner and driver.
All right, there is Taylor, and so we will come back and talk with more about another Earnhardt. How about a young man who had a great run, finished back in 7th spot, Dale Earnhardt Jr. We'll talk to him when we come back to Michigan Speedway. Back in Michigan Speedway, just part of this crowd of over 70,000 that are here today, and they will be jamming their way in tomorrow for continued NASCAR coverage, and we'll have it all for you here starting at 6 o'clock Eastern time today with NASCAR Winston Cup Happy Hour on ESPN2. Tomorrow we'll kick it off at noon Eastern with NASCAR Today as we set the stage for our live flag-to-flag coverage. The main man, Bob Jenkins, will be here to call the action for the Builders 400 NASCAR Winston Cup Show on ESPN. And following that action, NASCAR Shop Talk. We'll visit with Jeff Burton at 3:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. It's been a great day for the Earnhardt family, including a guy named Dale Jr. Right, Bill?
Absolutely. All smiles, too. You never raced here. You tested here. You had a great day. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I want to congratulate, my crew and all the people involved, Sickens Automotive Finishes, and everybody that's helped us get here. My daddy, the AC Delco crew. We had a good car. Got a little tight after the first pit stop. Just out there learning how to draft and feel air off other cars, and it was a lot of fun.
Did your dad jump in there a couple times? Did you know he was listening?
Yeah, he was listening. He told me to keep it quiet and keep doing what I was doing.
Because you told the crew you were having fun, didn't you?
Yeah, I was having a real good time with them guys racing. It's just, you don't understand how excited I am to be out there with Dale Jarrett and Terry Labonte, those guys I watched for years and years racing against my daddy, and it's just a dream come true.
It's a fast track, wide track. There's a lot of racing that goes on here. What does this mean to you to come here? Because you've never been on anything close to this, Dale.
Well, it's real. There's something that's very similar to what I've been doing in the past, as far as the racing I've been doing in the past. Is momentum here. You got to stay up high, keep the momentum on the car going, keep the RPMs up. Anytime you get low, try to pass somebody, you get trained down the outside, and that happened a couple times. So I just stayed up high and try to stay out of trouble.
What's next?
We might go to Bristol, who knows. I know we'll be at Charlotte and Rockingham and Homestead. Sickens sign on for 5 more races, and we're going to continue out and hopefully have some successful runs. I want to say hey to my mama and all my family watching in Kannapolis and all my buddies in Newton and Mooresville, North Carolina.
Congratulations. Enjoy this one. That was great.
We sure will. Thanks.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a great run here at Michigan.
All right, he finishes 7th. Talk about the newcomers today. We talked about how the newcomers would fare. Some of the newcomers, their first trip to Michigan, well, at least 4 of them finished pretty well. 4 guys in the top 10, including Steve Parksway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 7th, Matt Kenseth out of the ASA ranks, and Dale Shaw finishing 10th. Back with more from Michigan in a moment. Back at Michigan Speedway here in Brooklyn, Michigan, the Detroit Gasket 200 is over. What are these folks waiting for? This crowd of over 70,000, they know that coming up in a little bit is a little thing we call Winston Cup Happy Hour. That's that wild scramble, that final 60 minutes of practice that the NASCAR Winston Cup guys go through. And the guy that's going to be here to tell you about it, well, let's get a little preview of Happy Hour from our Double D. Dave,
well, Dr. I think that the Happy Hour is going to be a little more harried than usual here because of what's happened with the weather. Rain this morning washed out the Saturday morning practice. That practice is very important because it marks the transition from your qualifying effort, that's what Friday is all about, to your race effort. You start running your race setup on Saturday morning. You tweak it during happy hour to get it just right for the big show on Sunday. Well, this morning, they didn't get the opportunity to do that. Instead, they kind of looked out, watched it rain, and went back to the notebook, started consulting, figuring out what they had done with the car last race, last year, what worked in these kinds of conditions, what might work again today. I was told by several crew chiefs in a tour of the garage area for the last couple of hours that they'll probably be a little more conservative with this happy hour. We won't see as much experimenting. They've got to stick to the basics, get a good, adjustable race car that they can work with during the day tomorrow, and probably won't try as many radical things as we might otherwise see in a normal happy hour. It'll be just as harried as ever, and at the end of it, the fast guys will all be happy. Let's go to Bill Weber.
With Todd Bodine, a 6th place finish today, and you made up some ground in the points, 112 back unofficially.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad day. That's the way we got to look at the rest of the season is we've got to gain points every week. We got to make sure Randy's behind us. We got to keep the Stanley Pontiac in the top 10. Because if we don't keep him in the top 10, Randy's going to be right there. And, you know, they're consistent. We got to keep our consistency up. We do have to step it up a little bit. We got to get a win. I'm sick of not winning, and the Stanley Pontiac deserves, this whole team deserves to be up front and in victory lane.
The math in your pit said you could make it to about 98.5.
Yeah, it was close. Clyde said it's going to be, he come out of radio and told me it was going to be close, and so I let Buckshot get in front of me and started drafting, and we made it.
Todd, a lot of people thought this points race might have been over after your last race. You were 150 back, but you still got a lot of racing left.
Yeah, it's never over. I mean, shoot, we got to watch out for Phil and Steve, and if me and Randy slip up a little, they're going to be right there. I mean, this is Busch Grand National Racing at its finest. I mean, this is a good points race. They're having a good race, and me and Randy, you know, me and Randy talked about this at the beginning of the year. We both felt that whatever team had the better luck was going to win the championship because we both felt we had really strong teams, good cars, good motors. We have everything it takes, so we felt whoever has the better luck is going to be around the podium at the end, and hopefully we can have better luck the rest of the year.
Okay, he heads for Bristol looking for luck and that first win of the season.
All right, 8 events remain. This is the second of 5 that we'll have on ESPN coming up next Friday night. Thunder Valley Food City 250 in Bristol, Tennessee. Then we go to Darlington for the Duraloop 200 on August 30th. Then September 5th to Richmond, Virginia for the Autolite Platinum 250. And talk about PPG kart coverage coming up later today, 3 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2. Qualifying for event for tomorrow on the grid at 3 p.m. on ESPN2. And then live coverage, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, the Texaco Havola 200 on ESPN. Back with more in a moment.